Welcome everyone. I have some exciting, well firstly, welcome to Monday Talk. It's good to be before you all. Hopefully everybody is well and have an awesome drink. Mine, that's right, finish that sentence, is my mate. I have an exciting announcement. Actually, everybody's full of water, I'm not gonna put any more. I have an exciting announcement. We have one spot left. The ESXENCE Tour, one last spot. If you're sitting out there and you've been thinking to yourself, I really would like to join, because I've had a lot of emails with questions, people asking me, you know, what happens here, what happens there. And so if you are sitting on the fence, there's one place left. It might be you. So hopefully when this video goes out, that place is still there available. So if you want to jump on in, now is your chance. Now, why would you? And this is what I'm here to tell you a little bit more for those who are not quite sure what the ESXENCE Tour, some of the questions that I get asked. So firstly, we're calling it the ESXENCE Tour because it's the easiest way to understand what this is. In actual fact, it's a one-day curated event with Kevin and I in Milan, because ESXENCE will only be for the morning. So on the last day, it's now open to everyone. It becomes an absolute circus. There's so many people coming in. There is a lot of intensity. Some people play nice, some people don't. While I was in Cannes, I had a lot of the brands tell me that on that last day, it becomes a little bit on the feral side. People behave, I guess, in a very intense manner. So we will be there for the morning part because everybody's in a concentrated area. We have already pre-organized a number of our meetings, and the idea is that Kevin and I will split up. I'll take 10, he'll take 10, and we'll move around the actual trade show, and we'll show you fragrances that we're enjoying, or even to the point of new things that are being launched. So there's a number of brands already fully aware that we're coming through. There will be goodies there for you. This is the other thing too that happens on that final day. All those goodies are gone because in essence, all the samples, the discovery sets are used as a trade activation. It's an actual trade event, and so they use it for people who are the distributors or retailers. So there's not many things left by the time the general public get in. But with us, you're gonna have all these things. And the best way I can explain what we're doing is think about being on a plane. You have many different classes, essentially. So you have the economy, you have business, you have first. Well, by being with us, you're gonna be first class, all right? So that's the intention that we're trying to create here, is something that's a little bit more than just anybody walking in and doing their thing. By you being with us, you're gonna get a first class experience. Well, as I mentioned, we'll be there in the morning. Then after that, we'll leave. We'll go for lunch, and then we have a private session with Fragrance du Bois. They're not actually in ESXENCE themselves, they're in a location outside, and they are planning a big deal for all of us. All 20 of us will be in this one room together. Fragrance du Bois are putting on a bit of a show for us and for everyone who's joining us, and showing off their new, I mean, I took video and I asked Kevin, can I show this off in this Monday Talk? He said, no, we're not allowed to. So let me just say, the stuff that you'll see when we get there are all the new releases. In Cannes, as I mentioned, in Cannes, sometimes they come out with new concepts ready for release in ESXENCE. You'll see that when we go. Those people who are joining us will be part of that experience. I'm also excited to let you know that so also part of that, the pricing on the tour, you'll get a full bottle of LABSOLUE. It's a brand new brand, just launched. They've been in the industry for quite some time now. When I say quite some time, something like 60 years, 80 years. The brand, or the parent brand, is called Marvin. And this brand has been making fragrances for other suppliers for many, many years. And now they're doing it for themselves. They're basically turning the spotlight onto themselves and creating they're releasing an incredible range of fragrances. So your tour will include LABSOLUE. Now, when I told them, I met with them also and I'm gonna talk a bit more about that, so give me a sec. When I mentioned to them when I was in Cannes that we're doing this full event, and that that includes a complimentary bottle of LABSOLUE, they have a huge collection, massive collection, and they thought to themselves, they actually were speaking out loud while this was all happening, wouldn't it be nicer, they were saying, if your guests came to our laboratory and had a chance to see the full operation and also select their fragrance rather than choosing it off the website. This is how we originally had it sort of mastermind. And that way they get a chance to see it all. And I said, well, the only catch is that we would like them to experience the fragrance in advance. And they said, no problems at all. We'll select, or you give us your recommendation on 8 different samples. So what we will be doing while we're waiting to get into ESXENCE, we will be doing a masterclass on all things LABSOLUE. Kevin and I are selecting 8 fragrances that really, really ping for us, and we think that's gonna be enjoyable for everybody else. We're gonna be doing a masterclass, so each of you will receive 8 of these. We'll use our samples, so you guys don't have to touch your samples. We'll spray, we'll smell, and we'll run through what these fragrances mean. And that way, you can already make a decision before we get to the laboratory so that you can then choose your 120 ml bottle of LABSOLUE in the actual space. So I really love this very personable touch that the people from LABSOLUE have created for this tour. So 1 spot left. The last part to this is that we have already, last night I rang the restaurant that I really want to go to, and it's a Michelin recommended, and already started pitching the concept, and they're saying, no problems at all, we can help you guys out. So, and that's how we're going to finish our evening. We'll all have a beautiful dinner together. So if you'd like to join us, 1 spot left, and yeah, it will be a lot of fun. As I mentioned, we are calling it ESXENCE Experience, or the ESXENCE Tour, but in fact, it's the Milan luxury one-day tour, essentially. So, boom, good luck. Whoever might be that last person, power to you, and hopefully you, well, I look forward to actually hosting everybody and being a part of that. Headlines, boom. Well, I have a small drink. These headlines I'll talk about at the end of the episode. The one thing that I did want to point out is that last one, which is the SOSPIRO Discovery Set is coming out soon. This morning, one of my editors, Grace, I've given her a small collection of the SOSPIROs on the library system so that she can experience them, because these are a little bit more feminine leaning, and I wanted to get a woman's perspective, essentially. She came in with 1. Now, let me try something here. She's editing at the moment. Hey, Grace. Yeah. Hey, Grace. I was wondering, would you like to come and share a little bit more about BEL CANTO? You don't want to be on camera? Come on camera. Hello. All right, so this morning, Grace has been wearing one of the fragrances. I gave you a small collection, and one of them is BEL CANTO. And as soon as I'm covered in perfume right now, I'm smelling all of me right now. I was editing. Grace walked in, and I'm like, "Whoa, that smells really good." And then Sandra, who was also editing, was on a, you know, sort of probably about 3-5 meters away. She's like, "Oh, which one's that?" Actually, she bring it back. Yeah, she goes, "Isn't that one of mine?" I'm like, "It's okay. We're testing right now." Anyway, smells amazing. Then as I was briefing, I'm going to give the lead up, because I'm going to get you to talk about it in a second, if that's all right.
Sure.
Cool. As I'm explaining, you know, some of the things that I'd love edited, in mid-sentence, and you got to remember, this is a place that is constantly perfumed, so the office is always smelling nice. In mid-sentence, I'm like, man, you do smell really good. That is really rocking. So tell me about BEL CANTO. Come into the frame. Come, join me. It's more fun. I love the hesitation in her face. Of course. All right, look, I'll move my mic so everyone can hear. There. Yeah, there.
It's like, everyone is complimenting me on it. Every person that I've worn it around has been like, "You smell really good," so that I keep wearing it.
So even outside of the office.
Yes.
Yes.
Outside of the office, everyone is complimenting me on it.
Yeah. So you've been wearing it because I have this library system. I like the people around me to borrow the fragrances and use them. You look funny.
There's a light right here.
Yeah, there's a light right behind just to shine some light.
There we go.
That's better. You're slightly out of focus, but that's all right.
That's even better.
Okay. Yeah, so you're saying everyone's really, it's a good hitting fragrance. I
Yeah.
actually thought there was oud in this fragrance or some kind of leather, but there isn't. There is, you remember what it was?
Patchouli and vetiver, which I don't normally like.
Isn't that wild? And then Hannah came in this morning, and the first thing she said,
You're gonna get her to say it?
Hannah's very shy for this. There's no way. Hey, Hannah. What did, when you walked in, what did you, do you want to come in the frame too?
Come on, girl.
So what did you say when you walked in? Yeah, and again, you got to remember, this is a very perfumed office, and
We're like always sneezing in here because there's so much perfume. We're all three of us are sneezing all the time. It's so heavy.
yeah, it can be sometimes, especially if I'm testing new things. It's pretty intense. Anyway, thank you, Grace. Thank you, Grace.
This is weird.
It is weird, isn't it? And considering that you're going to be editing this, you're going to see yourself again.
Yuck. Thanks.
Well, thank you for the improv. Actually, the reason why I did that is it's better to hear it directly from, rather than me saying, and Grace then said. So, all that to tell you, Sospiro Discovery series is coming out on the 3rd of November. So if you haven't bought your Discovery series pack, you can jump on the website. The website's brand new. They've done a really good job. It looks amazing at the moment. Use this code. You'll get 50% off the Discovery set. I'm gonna get out of shot. Give me 1 second. Boom, boom, boom. So this is you'll get the full Discovery set. Just so you know, when you use that code that I've given you, the people from Sospiro, those who are preparing the orders, know what are the variants in there. I've had a few people say, how do I know? Because you can select. Just put the code. You'll get, not only will you get your 50% off that Discovery set, but also you'll get the fragrances that I'll be speaking about. Boom. And BEL CANTO, bada bing baby. It's a really, really, really good fragrance. Boom. All right. So what I want to do today is do a part two to last week's Cannes new fragrances that I discovered, and I wanted to share more other new things, and that also gives me a chance to sort of slow things down, and this doesn't become a 6-hour-long mate talk that I'd like to share, that I'm talking about new fragrances. So today is all about new stuff. And some of them, well, actually, there's one brand that is new to me, but has been around for a little while, whereas everything else is brand new, maybe even to the point not even released yet. So I'd like to put it on your radar, some really exceptional fragrances that are really pinging for me. People around me are using them, sort of not only my editors, but also my family. So these are fragrances that are pinging for everybody, okay? So I mentioned to you that LABSOLUE are just released, all right? Brand new, you wait and see, they're gonna be making a lot of noise. These guys have come out of the gate just crazy strong. I've been, as I mentioned, I've been testing already the labdanum, is this labdanum? This is Palo Santo, forget about it. Honestly, these fragrances are really, really impressive. And again, they've been doing it for a while. They've actually got master perfumers across the board to create each of these fragrances. So it's almost like they had the secret code, meaning because they've been doing this for everybody for such a long time, they're almost like they literally grabbed the best bits from everybody and came out with their own thing and have come out of the gate exceptionally strong. They've done one thing that, and I want to really expand on this. They've repurposed an old factory that they used to own, and they've made the first perfumed hotel. It's called Magnapaz, and it's in Milan. Now, interestingly, and this is one small thing of a greater picture of this place, you can do an olfactive check-in. So they've got all these different fragrances. I think they've got something like 60 rooms, and I think they have 60 supporting fragrances. And you can now go to a room that you love its olfactory scent profile. So if you love bergamot, or if you love a spicy sort of pepper, or if you love rose, you can check into that room that is now totally encapsulates that scent profile, from the soap that you're using, to the candle in the room, to the room diffuser, to, it's incredible. Honestly, it blew my brain. I'm going to be in Milan. I'm going to be spending more time with these guys. So, so heads up, there's a lot coming in this direction when it comes to all things LABSOLUE, and I want to put these guys on your map. This is called LEGNO de PEPE. So not cacio pepe. LEGNO. I'll stop. There's a funny meme with cacio pepe, that's why. So this is LEGNO de PEPE, which basically means pepper wood. And this is an incredibly clean, peppery wood fragrance. I love the composition, very straightforward. I don't know in what order, but essentially it is black pepper, sandalwood, guaiac wood, and benzoin. And you find that it's a very aromatic, very clean, very crisp, woody fragrance, but with this beautiful, spicy black pepper note, a very dry black pepper note. It is gorgeous, really easy for a man to wear, very easy for a woman to wear. Sometimes I do say that, you know, fragrances are unisex, and sometimes I'll put forward a fragrance that is unisex, but sometimes even in these cases it leans a little bit more masculine or feminine. Here, straight down the line. So anybody wearing this will be able to enjoy this fragrance. It is, again, super clean. Think of a and this is something you could either dress up or dress down. This could be an all day, going to the office, or it could be going out. It could be an evening fragrance. Again, it's a clean, woody fragrance. That's its classic scent profile to it. Because of the benzoin, there is a sweetness in there. There is a sweeter tone, but it's not vanilla in any way, so there's no touches of gourmand. It is a very beautiful, woody fragrance. And a massive recommendation. I've been wearing this, I've been enjoying it a lot. This is another one that has resonated really well with the boys in my family. So LEGNO di PEPE is really exceptional. And again, for all those who are joining us on that Milan luxury one-day tour, we'll go through a masterclass as we're waiting to walk into the precinct, and you'll be able to experience that. And this is going to be one that'll be in the mix, I promise you, because beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous fragrance. Okay, so let me move on to, last week I talked about the PANA DORA and how I'm sort of gushing with love for those guys. I mentioned that there were 4 fragrances that they had released. I'm going to mention one more today because the 4th one, which is called Majestic Amber, doesn't resonate with me just yet. And I think it's because it's a very, very deep, resinous, ambery fragrance that would work better in wintertime. So the 2 times that I've tested, one was in Cannes, and I remember in Cannes it was quite warm. It didn't quite resonate with me over the last couple of days. Like today, it is steaming hot here in Melbourne, and it's been way too heavy for me. Beautiful fragrance, but heavy. And in this weather, it's not working. So it's one that I will loop back on when it gets a little bit colder, which is now like months away. Actually, I might even take it with me to Milan because I know that it's going to be a bit cooler when we go over in February. But one that is resonating, and it is superstar. I mean, I mentioned last week the 2 that I love was Scandic and right here, Scandic and Opulux. Both of them are gorgeous, but this one trumps them all. This is the one that rules everybody. This is Orchestra. Whew, mama, this is gorgeous. Where LEGNO di PEPE is very straightforward, very clean, very woody, just, you know, bump. This is, you just don't know. You're just all over the place. When it first opened, instantly grabbed me. Let me just say though, it is a slow burn because it's one of those where the Scandic instantly grabbed me and I'm like instantly fell in love. Orchestra, I'm like, yeah, it's nice, but there's something else going on that I'm not quite sure. It is an absolute, it's a ride. This one here actually has some very clear check marks as you go through. The opening has a vanillic, I wrote here, it has a has a vanilla citrus, has a citrus, but not quite a citrus that you go, oh yeah, it's lemon or orange or anything like that. It has a citrus tone, but with this vanilla touch, but there's something else going on. Then as it moves through, so give it another, say 30 to 40 minutes, an hour, and then it moves into this aromatic lavender. There's this, so like a herbal, brighter note that's in there. It still has that sort of citrus sort of touch to it. And then finally when it dries down, which is where I am right now, it has this powdery, vanillic, citrus, ambery. It's just wild. It is a wild ride. And this is the part that blows my brain, because then I do my normal, what's in the fragrance. You know, this is what I'm feeling. This is what it's sort of saying to me. And I'll tell you what it reminds me of, but then it goes away from that, okay? But it has things like cardamom, oud, rosemary, davana. I'm like, these are all punchy notes. Each one of these has, you know, creates an incredible presence. But yet here, it's done in such a way, and like I think there might be vanilla in the fragrance, because it definitely feels like there's a vanilla touch to it. But I don't think there's citrus. I mean, I'll put it here. So I'm like, I don't know where these things are coming from. On opening, it did remind me a little bit of Oud and Overdose, but then it's sort of, I'm like, oh yeah, so it's a Oud and Overdose style of fragrance, and then all of a sudden, whoop, it just like a cloud of smoke, or it just vanished away. And instead, what was replaced with is this aromatic lavender-esque, and that could be the rosemary actually, you know, this more herbal-like quality to it with this citrus vanilla sort of ambery touch to it. It's super cool. It is a really incredible, wonderful, joyous ride as a fragrance. And when it comes to its sillage, its presence and projection, I was wearing it yesterday. I think I was lasting 8 hours plus. Another day that it was fairly warm, so I was sweating, my body was moving, and this fragrance kept emerging and re-emerging. So when this baby comes out, another one that's on the schedule, big recommendation, I'd recommend to you guys. Check out Orchestra, really good fragrance. So out of the 4, 3 really ping for me, which I really enjoy. Bing, bum, boom, there it is. Look at these beautiful people here. This is the talented Philippe Solas and his partner, Alexandra. Recently, they were part of the France Fragrance Tour. We had a joyous experience with them. We were able to spend time with them. They shared about their beautiful brand. And we were the first to come across the new extract collections that they have released. This is the gift set here. So for those who love anything to do with NUIT NOMAD, I'd recommend to you check out this discovery set. I really love, so 2 of the fragrances are brand new. The third one is like a new expression on Jardin de Misfa. Gorgeous fragrance that is a big hitter within the brand. Jerome de Marino, the perfumer, he is the author of all 3. The one that I really want to speak to you today about is Estrella de la Mañana. And this one here, I fell in love with quickly. Again, being a perfume lover, and also being an avid collector, which I think is an important part of what I do, that I'm always looking for something that is going to add to the collection, something that is unique, and also something that I mean, yes, I could have, you know, snake, swamp scent, but yeah, it's definitely unique, but there's no way I would ever wear it, because like, I'm just fumigating myself out and killing everybody around me. I am looking for stuff that has potency, but also beauty to it, and a joy to wear, a scent profile that makes me happy. Okay, so Estrella de la Mañana is probably so far the best cacao, dark cacao fragrance that I've come across. It has the most robust opening. Sometimes I find chocolate fragrances, and I don't want to call it a chocolate fragrance because chocolate makes you think of a milky sweetness to it. There is very minimal sweetness to this fragrance. I don't believe there's oud in here, but it definitely has an animalic touch to it. I'll come back to that in a sec. When it opens, it has a robust dark cacao scent profile to it, to the point of almost like a very deep, rich, true, you know, not adulterated cacao, very rich and dense. And there's a little bit of dustiness to it. I mean, you can almost feel like there's dust coming off, this cacao dust coming off on the spray. I sprayed it earlier and showed the 2 editors, Grace and Hannah, and both of them sort of recalled backwards, wrinkled their nose and said, it smells weird. I love it. I absolutely love it. So for those who love all things Orto Parisi, this is like a first cousin to something like Bocanera, which is also a great expression on dark chocolate. Difference with Bocanera, it's a lot more oud animalic, whereas here it stays within that gourmand, but not in a sweet level at all. So what happens if you wait another 30 minutes is this beautiful vanilla, and this is the part that I think creates the magic on the fragrance. It has this beautiful, if you smell a vanilla pod, like a fresh, pulpy vanilla pod where it's kind of juicy when you touch it, it has like a dark fruit juiciness to it. There are floral sort of elements in there. You can definitely detect the vanilla, but there is a pulpy juiciness to that vanilla scent profile, and that's what you get through here. So it starts off with this very deep, very sort of like think of a monk going boom. That's the cacao scent profile that it has. 30 to so minutes later, there's this creamy vanilla pulpy scent that sort of weaves itself through it. It's almost like you grabbed a dollop of cream, and in that dollop of cream there is vanilla beans. You can see the little specks of that, those little black specks that demonstrates that there is vanilla bean in there, and you've dolloped inside this deep, dark cacao chocolate and mixed it together, and it's laced with vanilla and mixed around with the chocolate. You can tell. Honestly, on first spray, we sprayed this when we were with the good people of NUIT NOMADE, and I'm just like, this is a hit. For me, this is gorgeous. It's a beautiful new expression on a beautiful gourmand chocolate, but done in such a beautiful way, in such a unique way. I'm on the deep dry down now. When I say deep, it's probably been about 5 hours now. And I'm getting that the dark chocolate is still present, but not as pronounced. And I'm getting that pulpy vanilla, that really juicy, almost you can squeeze it and see the vanilla beans sort of moving, or the little specks sort of coming out of it. Slightly floral, animalic with some leathery touches to it. Gorgeous. If you love, so for me, this is, yes, it is a cacao fragrance or enveloped in cacao, but it's a vanilla fragrance done like you've never experienced before. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And also, it's a gourmand that has these elements, but not sickly sweet. You don't feel like your insulin is going to pop. I will be doing a discovery series on this. For those who might not know, I'm deeply in love with all things NUIT NOMADE. I think these guys are awesome. They've got an excellent range, plus their pricing on their fragrances is very generous. And we are deep partners with the team there. So if you use the code NFC10, you can get 10% across the whole board. Plus, if you use the link below, you'll get free delivery anywhere in the world. And this is part of that mix. I will be doing a discovery series on this. If you'd like to explore more on the NUIT NOMADE, have a look at these productions that I've created, and that'll give you a chance to sort of follow along as I share more about how amazing these fragrances are. Look, we're moving on. All right, boom. This is new to me. We don't have this brand here in Australia. It's called Pantheon. It is classic Italian. They've got a massive collection. This is something that I'm exploring deeper. I had a chance to meet with the beautiful people from Pantheon when we were in Cannes. This was gifted to me. I did ask for it as I smelt a few things. This one pinged instantly. So there's a beautiful cake in it, Christmas cake called panettone. And for those who know me, you know the channel, panettone and mate, they go hand in hand. There's a love affair that happens. Pop. My camera stopped. I didn't realize. So, as I was saying, Anniversario is the fragrance. If you love the fragrance Panettone by Milano Fragranze, you're gonna love this. And that's what, for me, I love the Panettone, but it does have a much more cake-like sort of citrus all the way through. This one here does have the cake-like elements of it, but instead of the citrus, there's now more berries. And so you're getting this beautiful red berry, sweetness, almost, again, not overtly sweet, so it's not over the top. Again, think of, which I love, and as I said, I love different styles. I mentioned last week about Fire at Will, very strong sugar, burnt sugar on that opening, which pretty much stays throughout the fragrance, mixed in with that vanilla creme brulee style. Here, you're getting the sweetness of the berries, but it's not over the top. It's the balance is beautifully done. There is vanilla coming through. It does have a bit of a base of, it does have a bit of a base of sandalwood and patchouli and things of that nature, but only if you stop and inhale and think and smell. You're going, ah, there's the sandalwood, and now I'm getting a bit of a patchouli. If you're just getting the sillage and allow the fragrance to move through the air, there is this beautiful, sweet, cake-like berry touch to the fragrance. It is a beautiful gourmand, but again, not overtly sweet as a gourmand fragrance. If I compare it to Panettone, Panettone has more of that vanilla, citrus, cake-like, and here it's more on the berries, the cake, and the heliotrope, and there's a rose note. Again, if you stop and smell, you can now sort of pick out some of these notes, but if you allow just the sillage of it to move through, it's a beautiful expression of, there's a happiness to it. It's a well, I guess anniversario is to celebrate. It's an anniversary, and it's that kind of scent profile. It's something that I would definitely wear for Christmas. It gives me that sort of festive kind of vibe to it. It's right here. Give me a sec. No, that's Estrella de la Mañana. This is Anniversario. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. There is, I believe, coconut in the opening, and you get, so unlike that milky coconut or sort of beach-like sort of feeling to it, this is more, it always stays within that pastry or gourmand style of scent profile. It's gorgeous. It's such a happy, happy fragrance. Again, if you love Panettone, this is a beautiful companion to that mix there. And new brand, Pantheon, there's a reason why I'm showing you that. There'll be more coming, but all in good time. Believe it or not, there is oud in here. There is patchouli. I just wrote that, and I mean, it's a massive, like, what? Because I'm gonna say it would be, as I'm making a guess, that rather than it being like a Laotian oud, probably it's a constructed note. I'm gonna say that it's there purely from a longevity point of view, because the fragrance does have good lasting power. I'm getting 7 to 8 hours comfortably. It does sit on my skin beautifully. Today it is quite warm, and it's actually performing really well in this warm weather that we're having here in Melbourne. So anyway, if you haven't experienced Pantheon Anniversario, I'd recommend it to you. Oh, last thing I just wrote here. You might think that it leans feminine because of the fruit notes. Just the answer is no. A man can easily wear this. Those red fruits that are in that opening, and the exact notes are strawberry and peach. I think of something like La Capitale again, that also has a strawberry and peach, and that is a little bit more on the feminine fruity side, whereas here the blend is a lot rounder. It's more about the entire composition being a happy, sort of celebratory style of fragrance that would work well in a festive sort of space. Works well on a man. I've been wearing it and loving it. All right, last one. Boom. Look at this great man here. This is Luca Maffei. I had an opportunity to meet with him along with Kevin. Luca is one of those people who that perfume is happiness. I had an opportunity to visit him in his Atelier Fragranze Milano. We did a shoot together. There's a natural coolness to this man. He's just he's just super chill, but you see his love and joy in perfumery, in the way that he expresses himself. Yeah, so anyway, he's a lot of fun to be around. He created this fragrance here, so BOIS 1920, another exceptional brand from Florence, from Italy. Massive love for these guys. So if you're new to the channel, have a look at the collection of episodes that I've done on all things BOIS 1920. I'll tell you a little bit more about what's happening here. But this is one that's about to be released or has already been released. Marasma is the name in Italian, if I'm not mistaken. Italians correct me. It means chaos. So it means, you know, just things happening everywhere. And I think the symbology of it is, think of the ocean where there is like this turmoil happening and you're getting that white froth and the foam on top, but underneath it's calm. You know, as it settles, it becomes calm, and the bottle reflects that. So it is an aquatic fragrance, or an aquatic leaning fragrance. It does have this sort of frothy white, but then it becomes slowly, you know, the opacity of the opaqueness sort of goes into this beautiful deep blue ocean fragrance. If I could capture it quickly, what is this fragrance? I would put it down as a fruity aquatic with a herbal dry down. So it starts off like think of a cocktail, literally a cocktail in the ocean. So if you, if you're in a beautiful scenic location, you've got a very fruity cocktail, you're inside the water and you're just seeing the expanse of the ocean before you. This is how this fragrance feels. It opens with this passion fruit, pineapple, watermelon, sugary, sweet citruses in that opening. But in amongst all that, and again, marasma, in amongst that chaos, that sort of, so it doesn't really go over the top fruity. There are these salty, aquatic, musky tones coming through already. So you're getting this explosion of fruity and aquatic, all sort of spinning around together. And then as it begins to settle down, the fruit notes sort of ease off. They're still present, but now you're getting this beautiful salty touch, but with this minty sort of herbal note coming through. I had a look at the notes. There's no mint. There's no, there is an aquatic salty accord that's in there, that's been constructed. So maybe it might be something that's mixed in there. It's gorgeous. It is really, 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 really impressive. So if you love, this is now a fun aquatic fragrance. So take something like, I mean, actually BOIS 1920 have another fragrance called Oillataguerre, which I absolutely adore. It's a very, almost classic marine style fragrance. You know, it's masculine leaning, has a bit more sort of, you can feel a bit more muscles, a bit of hair in your chest style with these herbal notes and things of that nature. Whereas here, it's a lot more playful, but it doesn't go into a girly or feminine place. So a woman can wear, my son's girlfriend has fallen in love with this fragrance. So she's been wearing it quite regularly, but I've been wearing it. Recently my son came over and he's like, man, I can smell your fragrance. He was like, I don't know, he was coming towards me. I was sitting outside, I was sweating, so, you know, my body was heating up, and he's like, it was like 2 meters away from me, and he's like, man, I can smell your fragrance. Instantly he goes, which one is it? And he went in to spray it for himself. So it's one that draws attention. It's one that in beautiful warm weather like it is today, absolute, and you know it, feel magic. It's a really, really good fragrance. And of course, the talented Luca Maffei has created this one here. I wrote here that on the dry down, it does have a bit of a Torino 21 touch with the mintiness. You know, those fruity notes are in there, but that minty touch, but it does have this musky aquatic, almost ambergris lingering in the background. It's beautiful. The way it moves around and dances, it's a gorgeous fragrance, a lot of fun to wear, and a great fragrance for nice warm weather. Boom, we're done. Okay, so these are 5 fragrances I want to put on your schedule, or on your radar. Once you get a chance to check them out, I would recommend to you. Now, some very quick announcements, because, yes, some very quick announcements. Number 1, did you enjoy that, by the way? Sorry, I feel like I'm rushing. Let's slow down a bit. Did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy those fragrances? It's a lot more fun if you were in front of me and we were smelling these things together, and I can get your response. I have been excited to put this episode together from last week, because really, and I'm going to do one more because there's more that I want to put on your radar that are really, this release in Cannes I was really impressed. I mean, both Kevin and I, we see a lot of fragrances, and both of us were like, whoa, coming into this next release that's coming through, there's some really good stuff that we can all get excited about. There's more to, my brain's going to want to tell you some more things, conversations I had with perfumers, but we'll save that for another time. What I will do is give you the announcements. Boom. First one is this. This is NFC Live. There is the very talented Catherine Cole. She has agreed to do a live alongside me. So she came forward with the idea, which I love, by the way. Fragrances, so classic fragrances for men that she rates as a woman. So she loves to smell their scent profile. So she's put forward some classics. So some classics in this genre. Have a look at her channel. She's exceptional at what she does. So she'll be joining me for the live, which will happen next week. All right, so look forward. These are the times again. So look forward to everybody joining me on that particular event. Now, I mentioned last week that we have on the NFC channel the opportunity, or you have the opportunity to become a member. Now it costs $4 Aussie. These are the prices around the world. That's a monthly, so you can switch it on and off. So you don't feel compelled, but if you want to be part of the Discord, because so the membership buys you, it buys you my appreciation because it helps the channel with what we're doing. So first you get a cheer from everyone here in the office. And the second thing that you get is the chance to become a let me send you something. So you'll be put into the raffle, a wheel. And what I'm gonna do is I will sacrifice and I will send you my samples, okay? I probably won't send you the amber one because I want to hang on to this. I'll see how it goes. I'll see if you really want it. If someone in the Northern Hemisphere has won it, has won the raffle, then all right, I'll be a nice guy. But all the others, because I'm actually going to buy them. So they're already like, before I started, I rang Kevin. I'm like, when are you getting the Panadoras? That shipment is on its way, supposedly, with all the new ones. So I'm happy to give you my samples. Anyway, so you'll get a curated 10 samples. I'll make sure that I include some really new stuff so that you can test out. But also you tell me what you like and I can then curate it for your taste. So becoming a member, you get Discord. I'll spin the wheel next week, so you'll be part of that. And also you get a chance to support the channel, and I say thank you. The last thing is just a reminder that SOSPIRO Discovery Series is coming out the 3rd of November. So in 2 weeks' time, it will be a 2-series episode. So I'll do first 5 and then the next 5 the following week. So if you want to get yourself your own discovery set and follow me as I go through it, use the code. Actually, use it, whatever I say here, do that. Because I've got some places where I use the code NFC and others are NFC 10. So whatever is here, that's the right one. Boom, we're done. Thanks everyone, hope you enjoyed that. It wasn't too bad actually. I think I finished strong. Normally I peter out, and because I'm just exhausted, I get tired. Grazie a tutti. Next week, actually this coming Sunday, is a conversation that I have done with Philip Solas from NUIT NOMAD, and we're talking about his brand, talking about a whole bunch of stuff. I did this interview when I was with him in Paris. So there's a new series coming out called Behind the Bottle. That's the name so far. Maybe we'll change it. We'll see. Bye everyone. We'll see you guys all on the next episode. I've been in love with niche perfumery for some time now, and I also love travel. Now we've married these two things together and created KM Fragrance Stores. 2025 is all about Italy. There are 2 tours happening, one in February, the ESXENCE tour. You're gonna wanna join us on this one-day event. And then in September, we have an 8-day luxury tour. Rome, Milan, Florence, travel, good food, fragrances, bada bing baby.
You're gonna wanna come with us. ESXENCE is the biggest perfume show that happens in the calendar year. Now this is where you're going to be surrounded by 400 niche fragrance brands. We're gonna give you a guided tour of the day. The ESXENCE tour is open now. We've already had a number of guests come and book their spots.
Then in September, if you wanna now slow down the pace, 8-day luxury. We're in conversation with a number of beautiful Italian brands in each of those key cities. Those dates are locked and loaded, so if you want to join us for that, make sure you reach out to us to find out more. We look forward to an exciting 2025 as we explore niche perfumery, travel, and Italy.
We'll see you there.